Hi, Megan. I
Yeah,
welcome to
thanks.
my show. First of all, I'd like to say to give tribute, a couple of seconds silence for the souls who have lost in COVID-19. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Megan. Now I'd like to tell about myself and my initiation about Sajjad Travelogue, what I do in Bangladesh, and later part of that, and I'll tell about my writing passion and the blogging passion, and of course how I came into this interview session. We'll talk about in it's designed in some questionnaires format, so we'll have informal discussion.
Sounds good.
Okay, yeah. Megan, my name is S.M. Sajjad Hussain. I'm from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Basically, I have graduated from Aligarh Muslim University, India. Then, after my graduation, I get into professional career in marketing and communication sector in Bangladesh. To be precise, it's advertising, building brands for the company. You know, and
Fantastic.
yeah. So after that, then traveling was there all along with my family and friends, of course. Then when I got married, then there was good traveling with my other half. We had a really happy time traveling, and still we're doing that. But in this situation, it's not possible. But we'll do that for sure. Then my you know when I started traveling many places in Bangladesh and in abroad, then I started thinking how to let my people know, my audience know about my travel experiences. And then an opportunity came. Um, there is a magazine. It's a quarterly magazine. I used to contribute my write-ups, travel experiences to them, and they publish in um, a couple of publications in a year. So that sounds good for me, and still I'm doing that for the last 10 years. It started from 2010, and as a reciprocation, they give me a token appreciation. I really feel good about this when you get something in return, some recognition kind of thing. Then I started thinking about how to publish my travel book, because I have traveled so many places in Bangladesh and in abroad. Then an opportunity came again in this year, actually, this earlier of this year, and this happens to be the biggest book fair in Bangladesh, and that is
Oh, wow.
called, yeah, that is called Amor Ekushe Grontho Mela, yeah, and it's popularly known as Ekushe Boy Mela. And I published my first travel book. Let me show you this thing.
Congrats.
Yeah,
Well, that looks fantastic.
yeah. Thank you. And after
That's
at the
huge.
same time,
I know how much work that is. So congratulations. It's such a big deal to have a book published. So that's really, really, really
absolutely,
good work.
absolutely. It took me actually 3 years, 3 years to publish to come into this stage. First thing is that the writing thing. It took. I mean, as I said, 10 years. I'm writing, and to publish this book, it took 3 years. Yeah, and after that, I was thinking about the travel blogging, which is the, I think, most hardest part. And the when I get into this thing in detail, I think I tell myself, oh my God, where I'm going, this is like a huge thing.
It
Because
is.
it's not an easy thing, and especially in the Bangladeshi context, it's very niche genre, this travel blogging. And I since I love traveling and I write my travel experiences, then I took this challenge. Okay, let's get into this. And then I was trying to learn the ins and outs of travel blogging. and I connected with so many travel bloggers around the world. I've texted them, emailed them many times, and in most cases, no one replied actually. Very few of
Sorry to hear
them.
that.
Yeah, and I'm sure you know that. And if I give some names like established blogger like the Nomadic Matt, then the Blonde Abroad, then Be My Muse, and of course I followed your blog also, Mapping Megan. So I used to follow them, and I get the inspiration from there, how to develop my own blog site and how to get in the right place for future monetization, because that is very important. Because end of the day, I think that way that one day I'm sure I will earn money out of this blog. So this is the whole thing about in a nutshell. And after doing this all this thing, I learned some tutorials about the opinions about interview things from the travel for travel bloggers. Then I email again maybe 10-15 people, including you, and only two confirm that they will um, respond to my travel show, and they will spontaneously um,
Sure.
recognize me. Yeah. So now I'll ask you the questions. Actually, the way we developed earlier. So first of all, I'd like to tell you that how long have you been blogging, and which was the year first you started, and when did you think your site has been monetized? And I'm sure there is a pain behind this. I want to know about this thing, and please tell my audiences. Mic to you
For
now.
sure. So I've been blogging since 2007, but I've been blogging professionally or as a brand since 2013. So I've always loved writing, and I did a journalism degree at university, and I've always loved traveling. So when I first took my first big trip abroad by myself in 2007, I kept a blog. Largely that was just to keep kind of mum and dad back home abreast of everything that was happening, and that I wasn't getting into too much trouble overseas and all that fun stuff. So I kept kind of like a travel diary per se, and then kept traveling and kept blogging. And then it got to 2012, and I realized that this was now an avenue and kind of a new progressive industry where people were starting to forge their own careers out of travel blogging. So I had just graduated from university, and instead of going the traditional route of applying for grad jobs and going into an office, I decided to kind of take the more non-traditional route and go all into building my blog into a business. So that involved rebranding. My blog used to be called Where in the World is Megan Clare, but I felt that was maybe a little bit too long of a title for people to physically have to type in. So we changed it to Mapping Megan. And that's how that was born. So yeah, so 2013 is when Mapping Megan itself was born, but I've been blogging since 2007.
Okay, fine. So, which social media platform you're comfortable with?
Well, I am all over social media. I'm on them all, which gets very addictive and can take up a lot of time, but it is quite a lot of fun. So obviously we're chatting on Facebook right now, and we have our Facebook page. We also put up our photography on Instagram, which is a lot of fun because my husband is a professional photographer. So he takes, and I've been learning photography tips and tricks from him as we've started traveling together. Like you said, you travel with your wife. Obviously, after I met Mike, we started traveling together and kind of made that progression from solo traveler to traveling as a couple. But yeah, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter is also pretty fun, just because that's more short style information and short style quick updates. And you can just engage with different audiences across different platforms as well. Pinterest is another one. As I said, like there's so many different social media accounts. As a new blogger, I would say pick a few that, if I was giving a tip, pick a few that you're really excited by and really passionate about, and then once you master those and get the hang of those, then you can maybe move on to learning a new one and establishing an audience on the next one, just so you're not like so overwhelmed.
Yeah. Sure, I will learn all those things. I'm sure I'll get advices from you maybe later. So how do you blog? Do you post every day, weekly, monthly? What's your How do you plan yourself about blogging?
For sure. So lots of people post on different, obviously, how frequently people post is a very kind of personal thing, and it changes from blog to blog. I used to publish daily because just so many travel stories and so much I wanted to say. You
Wow.
can't shut me up when you get me talking. Um, at the moment, though, with COVID-19, obviously it's a little bit more difficult, and I don't feel like people need to be overwhelmed with that much content. So we've kind of shifted our focus, and instead of publishing new daily content, we've been more going back in through old posts and fixing them up. And because, as I said, like I've had this website now since 2013, so that's a good 7 years. And some of the stuff that I published 7 years ago is maybe not in the same format, or the photos I entered at the time, I'm like, what was I thinking when I look at it now? So yeah, we've been putting our time instead into going back through old posts and kind of redoing them and putting in some new photography and taking new photos and all of that fun stuff.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So how do you devise your hour daily? So what do you actually do on a daily basis, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and how do you plan yourself? Because blogging is something, actually this is very addictive, and once you're into this, you can't think of anything else.
Yes, it is very
Yeah.
addictive and it is very time consuming. And I think this is one thing that many people perhaps underestimate when they decide to pursue a path of travel blogging or blogging in any niche or industry. To be, in fact, and it's quite ironic because those who pursue blogging as a career, or those who pursue travel blogging, do so for the freedom, right? Like we have this concept that it frees up all of your time and you can do this 4-hour work week from a beach and it's going to be amazing. That's not the case. So I think I probably average maybe 10 hours a day, 7 days a week at the moment, and I need to work on that because I need to work on getting a better life balance going on. But as you said, does get quite addictive. So, and routine is the other thing that actually helps keep all of those tasks on track, because when you're running your own travel blog, or when you're running your own blog or publication, you are everything. So you are the writer, you are the photographer, you are the web coder. I've wanted to throw my laptop across the room and at a brick wall half of the time, because just like the intricacies of learning web coding and cross-browser compatibility and all of that fun stuff. You are marketing, you are liaising with clients, you are answering emails, you are answering social media notifications, as I said, like on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, all of that. So it is a lot more dedication and I think work than a lot of people conceptualize at the start when you see pretty photos on Instagram. But it is a lot of fun and it is quite addictive when you do find enjoyment out of it. But yeah, so I wake up in the morning and kind of have a routine. So I'll wake up, I'm in a little bit of a bad habit. I sleep with my phone under my pillow. So the first thing I do when I wake up is pull my phone out and then start checking my social media notifications so I can respond as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
But I'll
yeah,
start with
happening everywhere.
So yeah, I'll
Yeah.
start with my emails and go through and respond to social media notifications, because I really like to try and make my best effort to reply as much as possible. And then go on to the big tasks for the day, whether that's writing a freelance article for a travel client who's written to us, or whether that's writing an article for my own website, or whether that's liaising with different clients. Myself and my colleague Ma are writing a book at the moment on online group success. So how to grow, monetize, and moderate Facebook groups. So that's something that's been keeping us busy for the last couple of weeks and last month. So that's very exciting. And then we also have a Facebook group of close to 70,000 solo female travelers. So that's also been keeping us busy and engaging with lots of people there as well. So yeah, there's lots to do. And I think I need to actively try and take days off here and there. When we actually travel and we're kind of managing everything at the same time, we'll be out enjoying the destination during the day and then kind of might do the blogging in the evening. So come back to the hotel or back to the hostel or back to the cruise ship where I've got my laptop set up in like a laundry basket type scenario and type away until 2, 3 a.m. and then wake up the next day and do it again. But it's a lot of fun, so I really love it.
Yeah, yeah. It's really is. I mean, I'm also doing. I'm trying to do this thing, but sometimes it gives me a pressure from the family because this is,
Yeah.
as I said earlier, it's totally different genre, and it's a different platform for me. Well, so next question would be like, did you ever do press trip? I'm sure you have done it before, press trip. And if it is so, I'd like to hear about your success story and what's there in the media kit. If you just tell me in brief.
For sure. So we've done many press trips. We've been very fortunate to do many press trips. And what a press trip is basically an exchange of we're invited to a destination or we're invited to a hotel, and we produce photography and produce content to bring that experience to our audience. So the first press trip that we went on was back in 2014, I think, and that was very exciting because that was with DoubleTree by Hilton.
Let me interrupt you. First, you did 2014, and before that, when did you first attempt your first press trip?
So this was the first attempt. So DoubleTree by Hilton had a competition that they opened to everybody, and you had to send in video submissions, so like a video application. And we sent that in, and it was very exciting because they were looking for ambassadors to travel around their South and Central American hotels and produce photography and produce video content for those hotels. So we were very excited to land that press trip, and there are a lot of DoubleTree by Hilton cookies that we got to eat, which is fantastic because that's kind of a flagship of their brand. But yeah, so we traveled throughout Costa Rica, Panama, and Peru, and jumped between the DoubleTree by Hilton properties and took in all of the fantastic destinations and scenery and activities along the way. And that was 3 weeks, I think, from memory.
Excellent. Yeah. So what's there in the media kit? Can you just tell me in brief?
So our media kit, a good media kit should include all of your relevant demographic details. So examples of your audience, who your audience are, where they come from, what your vision is, who you are, what you stand for, the type of topics you cover, because obviously you want to kind of align. You don't want to be going on a press trip, on a backpacking press trip, for instance, if you cover luxury travel, because it's a complete non-alignment of a brand with your audience. So you want to make sure that your visions are actually aligned, and what you're covering and what you're producing and the travel that you're giving people is what they actually want to read about, because that's the biggest thing. There has to be an alignment. But yeah, and also examples. So examples of photography and examples of your articles to show that the work that you produce is in line with expectations of somebody sending you or inviting you to cover their stories too.
Okay, maybe I'll request you to give me a template so that I can learn out of that, because I've been knocking to some hotels and some resorts, but no one has replied me until today. So I'm keep on writing them.
And that's the thing too. So if you are pitching, or if you are a travel blogger and you do have something of value that you feel you can offer a brand or a destination or a client, because ultimately that's what it comes down to too, is having something of value to offer an exchange type thing. You just keep on trying and keep on pitching and keep on just really sticking with it, because it is a long haul goal, and it is a long-term aim, but it does eventually pay off if you can prove that you can provide that value, and if you can really stick with it.
And now I'll ask you about what's your planning about the traveling during this situation and post-pandemic, and what's your plan?
Now we are discovering Tasmania, which is our home state, so doing a lot of local travel.
Okay, that is local traveling you're doing now.
Yes, I don't think Australia is planning on letting us out of the country anytime soon at the moment. So it's a good excuse to travel our own country, though, in our own state, because you so often travel to far corners of the globe, but you neglect to travel back home. And I figure people on the other side of the world spend thousands of dollars to come and visit the place that you live, regardless of where you live. People spend thousands of dollars to come and visit you. So why would you not take advantage of the fact that it's right there? Like, you have the waterfalls that people come to 10 minutes down the road from you. So take an afternoon or take a day trip and go down and see that. So it's also very embarrassing when people from overseas ask what to do in Australia, and I'm like, I don't know. I haven't actually done it myself.
What do you think about my because you have read my few blogs, and I want to know, so if my blog is okay, or in international standard level. Is there
Well, yeah,
any possible?
your
Is
English
there
is
any?
excellent. I've always been in awe of those who can speak multiple languages, because I struggle with it. I do learn Japanese, and I
Okay.
keep up with that so that I don't forget it. But I am in awe of anyone who can speak multiple languages. So congratulations on that, because you do an excellent job. But in
Okay.
terms of like international standards, there really isn't an international standard, right? So for instance, storytelling is so different too. So content that I write might be completely different to content that you write if you have more of a storytelling type of style of writing, which goes into your specific trips. And it's not that either or is good or bad. It's just that you have to find the right audience for that style. So for instance, there are some bloggers who write only short top 10 style lists. And for someone who wants to read something more in depth, that's not going to work for them. But for somebody who is actually looking for top 10 style lists, that is going to work for them. Some other people write, so like a lot of the writing that I've seen on your blog is largely based around storytelling and telling of the places that you personally go. And there will be an audience for that too. The things that I publish on my blog has slowly steered away from storytelling from the places that I go, and presenting the content in a more of a way that allows people to actually plan it. So we structure it differently from when we write stories and that type of thing. So yeah, I think that there's no one international standard, and different people have different strengths, and it's just about finding the audience that actually connects with the style of writing that you do.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you very much for the inspiration. Yeah. And the last question is that so would you promote this discussion in your community, and would you be interested to promote my travel blog in your network?
Yeah, so we published on our page this morning to tell all of those followers of Math and Megan to come over to
Yeah.
your Facebook page today and watch
I've
this
seen
live.
that. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and so we've
Yeah.
tagged your page. So definitely everybody who is also catching the replay here. So after this goes live, the replay, I believe, will be permanently available on your page as well, in case anybody didn't manage to catch the live session. So hopefully those fans and followers can come over and watch it on your page too.
Okay. Thank you very much for being here, and I invite you to visit Bangladesh if there's a possibility in near future. I'll be your host again.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind. Hopefully, I'm hoping that Australia will open our borders. Obviously, it's all about keeping everybody safe at the moment, but it will be a sigh of relief when we're all able to travel again and kind of connect with each other again and start seeing people in person again. But it's been so lovely to speak to you. Thank you for having me today.
Okay. Thank you. Take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.
You too.